Hey guys, it's the Coaster Battleman here bringing you an awesome video. Cedar Fair is new for 2018 editions, and I know we do not have Knott's Berry Farm, Kings Island, or Michigan's Adventure on here, but the rest of the Cedar Fair parks we have on here, so I'm going to start with the major roller coasters, then to the thrilling flat rides, and then some smaller additions. But overall, I feel like this is going to be a big year for Cedar Fair, and there's some pretty cool stuff coming. But let's start with the first ride, Steel Vengeance. It's going to be a pretty cool roller coaster. It's a pretty cool story to it, and there's a cool trailer if you guys want to see it. It's on the website, but this coaster in the POV looks awesome. 205 feet tall, 74 miles an hour, 4 inversions, 5,740 feet of track, and a 2-minute 30-second ride time. And I've watched this POV before. The ride looks so long. Like, this ride just seems to never end. That's how long it is. It's just awesome. Over a mile long. It's going to be 1,200 riders per hour. That's not a bad capacity, but it's not a great capacity. It could be better, it could be worse, but a pretty decent capacity for Cedar Point. I think this is going to be a very good coaster. It looks awesome. That first drop is going to be a 90-degree drop, and there's so many inversions and stuff spread throughout the ride. Insane airtime moments. As I scroll down here, this is going to be, with this ride, it's going to be the world's first hyper hybrid. So this is going to be a first of its kind. I'm really happy that we're going to see another coaster over 200 feet for Cedar Point. This is a massive addition, and a ton of people are hyping this as probably the best coaster in the world. I'm hyping it as. This coaster just seems relentless. It's an airtime machine, there's inversions, there's an insane drop. This is like you got everything you want on a coaster. You got a great height, great speed, great drop, great airtime, elite inversions, bank turns. You have everything you want on a coaster in this ride. It just looks awesome. So I'm moving on to Twisted Timbers. It looks really good. This ride used to be Hurler, and I know in the POV it looks really good. In the POV it looks awesome, and I know in this video it doesn't show it in depth, but there's multiple inversions. A wooden coaster with a twist of steel. This is going to be King's Dominion's newest coaster, and it's going to be wood supporting steel track, RMC hybrid. It looks awesome. I know Twisted Timbers has a pretty cool theme to it as well, just like RMC Mean Streak, aka Steel Vengeance. It looks awesome. So yeah, moving on to the next coaster. And this coaster for California's Great America, RailBlazer, I'm really happy they're getting a new coaster. Perfect time to get it, 5 years after Gold Striker and 1 year after Patriot, which was the renovation of Vortex to Patriot from stand-up to floorless. But now RailBlazer looks awesome, but there's a lot of sit-down loopers here now with the addition of RailBlazer. In my opinion, it looks pretty good. Unfortunately, this coaster will be a clone of Wonder Woman Golden Lasso at Six Flags Fiesta Texas, which is probably the only unfortunate part about this ride. Other than that, this coaster looks awesome, and the capacity doesn't look too good, but it won't be too bad because it's at California's Great America, and it's a smaller park than Fiesta Texas. So I don't really know how the capacity will affect the lines for it, but overall it looks really good. So the next ride here is a super loop going to Valleyfair. It's Delirious. It looks pretty good. We already know about super loops. This is a 24-person train that goes around and around in a complete loop several times. and you get some elite hang time on the ride. These rides are all over the place. I've ridden one at Indiana Beach and one at Six Flags St. Louis. I really enjoyed them. This is a nice addition for Valleyfair. The next edition is for Canada's Wonderland, and they announced lumberjack and flying canoes and an expanded splash area. Lumberjack looks like a pretty cool flat ride. There's one of these rides similar to it called Meteor at Dorney Park. That's a pretty fun flat ride there. And Canada's Wonderland has really improved their flat ride collection these past 2 years with Soaring Timbers and now Lumberjack. So I'm really happy Canada's Wonderland is getting another big addition. That's not a roller coaster, but they need to get a new roller coaster very soon. So yeah, the next ride here with Canada's Wonderland is Flying Canoes. It's a family ride that will allow riders to control their journey of flight in two-person canoes. It's kind of like how you have an airplane ride and you press a button and then the plane goes up, and then if you stop pressing it, it'll drop down really quickly. That's kind of what this is, except it's with canoes instead of airplanes. So there's also going to be a Splash Island expansion, which the Splash Island Children Pool and Splashworks will be expanded to twice its original size and will feature all new interactive spray features. So that's good for the little kids, the families, and the thrill seekers. Pretty good year for Canada's Wonderland. The next ride is Nordic Chaser for Worlds of Fun. This is another flat ride. Guests of all ages will board these mini ships and rotate speedily around these circuits. So this is going to be kind of a smaller edition for Worlds of Fun, kind of like what they did last year. They added some classic family rides. This is going to be a cool ride for the families, but overall it's not really doing too much for Worlds of Fun. Carowinds, they're having a smaller year. They've had some huge things, and I thought they would get a Planet Snoopy expansion, but I thought wrong, and it's actually Camp Snoopy. So it's going to be a nice expansion for Carowinds. They're getting a few new kid rides. So yeah, it's going to be a nice little addition. And for Dorney Park, unfortunately, they are getting a pre-K pass for children ages 3 to 5 years old. So Dorney Park really isn't really getting anything. So that's probably just as bad of an addition as that tiny water park expansion from last year for Michigan's Adventure, or the Planet Snoopy expansion for King's Dominion. Oh boy. Well, hey, at least the little kids are probably going to enjoy this pass. So overall, great year for Cedar Fair, much better than 2017. There's some pretty cool thrilling flat rides like a super loop called Delirious and Lumberjack, two cool flat rides. You have two insanely good RMC hybrids. Cedar Point's Steel Vengeance looks to be possibly the best coaster in the world, or one of the world's greatest. It looks awesome. Twisted Timbers looks like another Storm Chaser to me, except it looks to have a lot more airtime. So I'm not saying Storm Chaser has a lot less airtime, but this coaster looks like an airtime machine in the POV. And California's Great America is getting RailBlazer. It looks like a solid addition for them. I'm happy they're getting a new coaster with it. So I'm really happy for Cedar Fair. This weekend, I will be sharing my overall thoughts on the rest of the Cedar Fair parks, as well as Silver Dollar City Spinning Coaster, which was announced today. I will share my overall thoughts on those soon, so stay tuned for those videos. But thank you for watching my overall thoughts on Cedar Fair 2018 editions. Stay tuned for more videos.